Hello Capricorn, my name is Missy and I'm here to pull some AstroCharms for the month of October. I'm actually going to, my intention for this reading is going to be a little bit different this month because I'm not going to just look for general messages or predictions for the month. What I want to do is look at the astrological energies that are happening. We have Mercury stationing direct tomorrow, October the 2nd. And then we have Pluto stationing direct on the 8th, Saturn on the 23rd, and a lunar eclipse on the 25th. So that's a lot of energy that's happening right now. A lot of, pretty transformational energy that's bringing about new beginnings. The reason that I say that is because this retrograde of Pluto in Capricorn is the last one before he moves or transitions into Aquarius in March of next year. And so what's happening right now in October is kind of a preview or a precursor of what you need to be aware of, like what the changes are that you can expect once Pluto moves into Aquarius. Also, it's like a preview, or if this is a little bit of advice on the things that you need to put an end to, the things that you need to, close out, the cycles that you need to close out right now before that transition to Aquarius. And so that's what these cards are for. I wanted to ask, what is it that you need to put an end to in the month of October? Interesting. You've got the walrus and the javelina. So you need to put an end to power struggles. And I think what this is saying is the need to be right. You need to put an end to the need to be right. I'm so sorry. This one is like so like there. Look at. It's not even. It's like, and that was the end. Right here is the end of it. Right here, purge, simplify. That's the end of the message that they're coming through. And all of the other, like literally, this is the 10th one I've recorded today. The 10th reading. Every single other reading had a bunch of different cards. Yours is a very simple message. You are not always right. And I feel like this is saying, take this however it resonates, maybe not every Capricorn specifically out there, but actually let me go back and explain. These specific readings that I'm recording today will resonate the best for your ascendant. If you are watching this as a Capricorn sun or moon, or you have other placements in Capricorn, this will still resonate for you, but it won't be as detailed or as precise like as it would be for a Capricorn ascendant, right? So if you have Capricorn rising and you are a know-it-all and you kind of get like a little emotional about it to the point where you don't trust other people to have things under control, like you only trust yourself to do things the right way, you really need to put an end to that. So let's talk about the planets, where they're stationing in your chart. Hold on, we have the song $1 Million Baby by Ava Max playing in the background. So for you specifically, Capricorn, Mercury is going to station direct in your 9th house. Pluto is going to station direct in your 1st house, and then Saturn will station direct in your 2nd house. So what's interesting and important about this is that Pluto has been transiting your 1st house. That means for at least the last 12 plus years, 12 or more years, I'm sure. Pluto has been transforming you, your appearance, how you interact with the world, your personality, things about your personality, right? And this is probably the very last thing that you need to change about your personality before Pluto moves into your 2nd house. More than likely, this is probably, it's really going to hit you in your value system. Like, I'm not even sure that this is actually going to hit your money at all. This is 1000% like an esoteric. The way this is coming through with this right here, where it's talking about you're not always right, or maybe you don't trust other people to have things under control, or to take care of you, or the thing, like take care of things for you, or to give up control. Like, you need to give up control. You are not always right. There is no need for a power struggle. You need to allow other people to shine, allow other people to control, allow other people to do. This is the last bit of personal transformation that needs to happen for you because of these two houses. So the 9th house and the 2nd house, the way that they work together, where if you go from 2nd to 8, you're talking about money, right? But 2nd to 9th, it means that there's this sort of frustration in the aspect between the two, because you can get a little bit of progress, and then there's this, it's not the full progress that you want, right? There's still this frustration that happens with it, is kind of what I'm getting at. It's because it's 150 degrees apart. And so the 9th house talks about your subconscious, your higher self, your higher values, right? Like what you know to be right and true, how the world should work in your view, or in your mind, in your eyes, in your tradition, in your culture, whatever. And the 2nd house kind of is the same thing, whereas these are your own personal values. Like, what do you find personally appealing? What do you find personally important? Whereas you might have, say, your family, or the family system, the culture that you come from has an overall value system. Maybe yours are kind of like that, but there's differences, and that's where this frustration comes in, right? Like, you kind of understand, but there's some differences that you have that once like, if you like the differences that you have, it causes a frustration, is basically what I'm getting at. So once you've already changed so much about yourself and your personality, but once you get Pluto comes into here, it's like, finally, I think this is where you're going to have to implement, or you're really going to have to embrace these changes right here, and learning that your value system, what you believe to be right and true, is not always right and true. I think that that's a huge frustration for you right now. It really is. It's a huge frustration for you. Maybe being able to express that is also a frustration for you. That, or maybe it's something about the details in it. Like, maybe you agree with the majority of the tradition that is the value system. Again, but there are some small details that you differ in, and that's that's changing for you. That's something that you get. It feels to me like I just can't get any more clearer. And I know with the other signs, I had different scenarios for the way the houses were playing out. But this one specifically, with this set of cards, it's saying this frustration for you, you have to take care of that now. Or if you don't take care of it now, like, it's going to happen regardless once Pluto, because right now Pluto is sitting in a trine aspect to Mercury, right? Like, you guys are getting along, you're talking about your beliefs. Like, if you were let's say hypothetically, like, this is your family system, your culture, right? Your family traditions up here in the 9th house, and here's you're like, oh yeah, I agree with that, I agree with this, I agree with that. But that's been sort of changing. Like, you're changing, and you're going to change even more when Pluto moves into Aquarius, and all of a sudden you're going to realize your way, or your family's way, or your tradition's way is not the only way. It's like you have a wake-up call. You have some enlightenment, especially when it comes to faith systems, religious systems. That's very strong, especially with the 9th house. It's very, very strongly coming through that you're going to have to, and in fact, that's the one that I'm going to leave out, is that with the enlightenment and faith. Like, you have to come to that realization. You have to wake up to that realization, or wake up to your new faith or something, or wake up to the idea that maybe your faith isn't what you thought it was. Okay, we have the song Psycho Freak. Camilla Cabello, I can't say it. Psycho Freak is the name of the song. Let me get some charms real quick. I'm losing light too, so I've only got two more after you, two more readings after you, so hopefully I'll be able to get them done today. Boy. Okay, interesting. The apple fell off the table. I was able to catch it though. So here's the thing. apples represent wisdom, and that is exactly what we were speaking about with the 9th house, right? Especially with Mercury in that house. Mercury does have to do with like study, education. Excuse me for a second while I close this curtain. Oh, that doesn't look like it's much better, but oh, I don't think it changed it at all. Damn it, it was the wrong. And I accidentally bumped my camera. Okay, so apples represent wisdom. It fell off of the table. I would say it fell off in the 4th to 5th house area. So there's, again, speaking of wisdom, family wisdom, cultural, traditional wisdom, you might be losing or getting rid of some of that, maybe willingly, maybe you're throwing some of it out, maybe it's just that you've lost some of that wisdom and you're able to regain it, because I was able to catch the apple before it fell completely on the floor. And I always read charms or anything, cards, anything that fall on the floor as the message being corrupted in some way, because you know the floor is dirty. As you walk on the floor, there's bacteria and such down there. So first let's look at the letters. The letters can represent people, places, or things that are going to be important to your situation. So we have the letters K, U, and A, and so we're going to start here in the middle with the letter U. We've got the bridge. We have the charm that says seen and noted, and then we have the day rune. So the day rune is all about the sun coming through, like the day, like the clarity of the day. And then when we have seen and noted, that just tells me even more that like the revelation has, you know, someone is finally understanding, and that's what builds the bridge. It could even be you. Like sometimes the letters could be specific, but if it's not, it's a person, place, or thing with the letter U attached to their name, right? So this is your focus, is enlightenment, building a bridge of understanding and clarity between you and others through understanding that you are not the only one who's right. Like you're not always right. Again, we've got the 2nd house coming through with the letter A, so there could be a person, place, or thing with the letter A that's very important to your value system, that's, you know, going to affect your value system. And then we have over here this, it could also be a friend with the letter K attached to their name, or, you know, whatever person, place, or thing. Something creative, maybe a friend who's very creative or musician in some way. Also a protective friend, because of the obsidian, going to be very important to the situation, or finding creative solutions to protect your friends. This here, this is all 9th house energy, which we talked about as well. It's interesting the way that everything sort of came out to correspond to the reading itself, but we have the $5 bill, which speaks to changes. We do have the rune that speaks to inner journeys, which is so 9th house. We have the lamp, which is again 9th house energy anyway. It's actually the hermit energy, the lamp. The hermit carries his lamp or follows his own inner guidance. And that's what this is about, your inner guidance, the changes that you need to make, the clarity that comes from your own inner guidance, and implementing those changes and how it will be beneficial for you. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. That was the entire message, is that, you know, really changing the belief system that you have around the competence of others, and how beneficial that will be to you, or yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. I hope that resonates. If it does not, please excuse me, please stick around. There may be another reading for you here on the channel that does. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the notification bell, anything you can to help me get my channel out there, as I'm new here, and I thank you for watching.